All right, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with another fight review. For this one, we're going to Vietnam for Angels Fighting Championship, or AFC 37. We're going to a catchweight bout, minus 56 kilograms or 123.2 pounds. You could basically say flyweight. Anyway, it's Kim So-Yul coming in at 8-1, taking on Yang QingQing coming in at 2-5. May be familiar with Kim. She was fighting in one championship for a little while, and then she got signed to the UFC, but then one claimed contractual rights over her. They still had her in a exclusive agreement for a little while longer, so she couldn't go to the UFC, and she hasn't fought since then. And that was all the way back in August of 2023 was the last time she fought. She tried to fight for the UFC in November of 2023. So this is Kim coming back in a Korean promotion, but AFC now operates almost exclusively in Vietnam for some reason. Anyway, let's get into the bout. So like I said, Kim coming in at 8-1, Yan coming in at 2-5. Looked to be a tune-up for Kim. So first round starts, and Kim dropped Yan early with a lead right hand, but Yan managed to get back up quick. It seemed like a flash knockdown. Both fighters chose to box. Yan was circling to the outside while Kim followed. A Yan push kick grazed Kim's body. Kim landed a nice 1-2, body to head. Overhand right clipped Yan, and then at that point, Yan decided to dive for a takedown. Got Kim on her butt against the cage. Now, Kim had her right hand up over and around the head and neck of Yan. From there, she stood and basically used Yan as partial leverage to get back up, while started squeezing that head, got that got that guillotine locked in. Now she basically yed Yan around a little bit as Yan tried to resist the choke. She's just kind of pushing her around. They got against the cage, and Kim just basically squeezed and lifted, tried to lift Yan up, which would have caused her to choke some more. After a couple of seconds of that, Kim basically fell to her back, kept squeezing with the guard closed and squeezing the body as well. Yan lifted her arm once, lifted it again, and then you could tell it kind of fell rather than her just setting it down. The referee checked on her, saw she was out. That was it. So your winner, So-Yul Kim, via technical submission due to guillotine. 3 minutes, 5 seconds of the first round. Quick finish. And this was a good return for Kim. It was a nice little tune-up. Like I said, her last fight was all the way back in August of 2023. So, tune-ups are something that honestly are necessary in combat sports. The UFC has either never realized this or just doesn't care. And that's why they burn through so many fighters so quickly sometimes, because they just don't want to do tune-ups, but they make sense. They allow a fighter to last longer. Like, if someone's coming in off of a long layoff, give them, not necessarily an easy fight, but give them a fight that'll, help them shake that ring rust off. But the UFC has always been resistant to doing that for some reason. To me, I think Kim still shows promise. She's a striker, but a lot of her wins are by submission. I mean, looking at the stats on Tapology, even though she likes to box, she only has one win via knockout or technical knockout, where 6 of her, 9 wins are via submission. So you've got someone who can strike and who can submit people on the ground. So hopefully the ring rust is shaken off of her for now. And another thing I like about Kim, I want to talk about. There's an old school boxing term called a road warrior, where someone never really fights at home. They're always fighting away. And Kim, to me, she's one of those throwback road warrior fighters, because she's only ever had, I think, one fight in Korea. and that was back in December of 2021, and her career goes back to 2017. Yeah, she's had one fight in Korea, and the rest are on the road. Even though this was technically for a Korean promotion, it was in Vietnam. So I like that about her. She's not afraid to go where the fights are. For Yan, I never didn't really know anything about her before she came into this fight. It looks like she had fought for WLF and JCK. JCK has their events on Fight Pass, but I don't think. No, looking at her record, I don't think I had watched any of her fights before now. She just seems like she'll be like the what do you call it, journeyman fighter. But for Kim, let's talk about Soyeol Kim some more. So where does she go next? She was supposed to be signed to the UFC, missed out on that. Is that door still open? I don't know. Road to UFC, the tournament starts in May. It doesn't look like they signed her up because they had a list of Korean fighters. Most of them were all in one weight class. So I don't think she'll make it into the strawweight tournament this year. I think if she really wants to fight internationally, though, and fight outside of Asia, I think Invicta would be a good choice. Invicta really needs to build up their strawweight some more, and I think she could be a good fit there. So there you have it. Soyeol Kim defeats Yan Jingjing via submission in the first round. I will link the video in the description and a pinned comment. Let me know your thoughts on it. Hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to WMMA Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.